Sexual assault at the University of Iowa. Nia Britt. 1 in 5 women are sexually assaulted on campus every year. In 2007, at the University of Iowa, is when the case of the state versus Cedric Everson and Abe Satterfield took place. Cedric Everson and Abe Satterfield were both charged with sexual assault and later found guilty. You know how sexual assault cases go. The victim says one thing, while the alleged say another. Abe Satterfield was a football player at the University of Iowa. Satterfield stated that she sat on his lap outside the dorm before they could look for a room to get privacy. They went to a room that had been vacated by another football player named Everson. Satterfield said that the woman came onto him, performed oral sex, asked whether or not he had a condom, and helped him put it on. She never told him to stop, nor did she say she was in pain. He stated, "I just really sat back, and she was the aggressor." Satterfield said Everson tapped him on the shoulder in the middle of the night, and he got out of bed. But he doesn't know what happened later between Everson and the woman because he had fallen asleep. Satterfield was later found guilty to misdemeanor, non-sexual charge last year, but testified that the woman not only consented to sex, but was the aggressor. Everson had sex with the female athlete in a vacant dorm room, but claimed it was consensual. She said she had passed out and didn't even know it happened until weeks later. The victim reported rape after a night of drinking with friends in the dorm room. She met up with some football players outside of Hillcrest, then later went to Everson's room with Abe and Duran. Both were touching her sexually. She then said stop. Duran left, but Satterfield persisted. The victim performed oral sex on Satterfield, only to avoid intercourse because she was still a virgin. She stated that she was pinned down and assaulted against her will. She said, "I was telling him I didn't want to do it, and it hurt so bad." She then reported the rape the next day to the athletic department, then to the police. She learned from the police that Everson bragged about having sex with her that night after she had passed out. Her final words were, "I don't think there are words to describe it. Devastated. Violated." Judge Miller threw out a second-degree sexual abuse charge that carried up to 25 years in prison. The jury then decided whether or not Everson was guilty of third-degree sexual abuse or 2 lesser offenses. Spies, who was the defense attorney, said all involved acted poorly and blamed on a toxic combination of alcohol, prescription drugs, bad judgment, immaturity, and hormones. The jury looked at the whole picture and the complexity of human emotion and lack of experience in some young people. Nobody is a winner in this case, but at least some get to go home. Everson's family was happy and relieved of the final verdict. Everson's mother said she agreed with the juror's decision to find him guilty of assault. The boys were then suspended from the team, but then later transferred. 3 questions I would ask. Why should we care? Why is it important? And what does it tell about college sports? Yes, we should care about several assaults going on around campus because it is dangerous and can change one's life. If we don't do anything to prevent it, then more situations like this can happen. It is important that we get involved because one minute we may think this can never happen to us or anyone we know, a friend or family member, but then the next minute it can happen. When thinking of college sports, no matter how good you are or how smart you may be, Anything can happen. We just never know. No one ever thought that this top star, honor roll student, MVP, multi-talented kid in track and football would ever be in a situation like this. So we all just never know. Thank you.